Thank you so much for having me here today. I'm so excited to be here with you. My name is Steve Webb. I'm sure you heard the song as I walked up. It's called Are You Ready? And it's by a band called AC/DC. I'm sure you've heard of them because they've sold millions and millions of albums. But AC/DC, what you may not know about the band, is that they never had a #1 song. The song Are You Ready was a little known song on one of the cassettes that I bought back when I was in high school. And back then you didn't have Spotify or iTunes. You simply went and bought the cassette or the album and you listened to all the songs. But when I got to this song, Are You Ready? It spoke to me. I was an athlete, I loved basketball, and this song was the epitome of what I wanted to try whenever I stepped foot on the court. Because truly, Are You Ready is that type of song and that type of message that we should carry with us every single day. I speak all over the country on maintaining personal safety, preventing violence. I interviewed community members from Parkland, Florida, with the tragedy at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. And on and on and on. The theme was, I can't believe it happened here. In case somebody were to come on campus, they had people in place, had people outside, had supervisors inside. The plan was in place. They had practiced their plans. But on this beautiful morning, an individual came up to the school, brought his weapon with him, walked across the parking lot, and you know what? They saw him. That's the first step in preventing violence, is to being alerted to something that is not right, something that is out of the ordinary, and they saw him. And they actually recognized him because he had been a student in that school. They also recognized that he was carrying a case that looked like a rifle case. And this was the thoughts that were going through their mind at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, was why would he be doing this? So they had the plan in place, they had practiced, they actually had a police officer on campus with a weapon. They thought they had a great plan, but what they didn't understand was their mind was making every excuse in the book of why this individual was there. And instead of calling a lockdown and instead of doing the things that they needed to do to prevent this violence, their mind kept making excuses because their mind was not prepared for what they were going to do that day. Folks, a lot of people died that day. Not because they had a bad plan, but because their minds were not ready. Their minds were not focused on their environment, and their minds did not allow them to do the things that they needed to do to save people. And that's why we're here today. Our minds mask what reality can become. And only by training our mind as well as our bodies can we be prepared for that day that's not like yesterday. One of my favorite basketball players is Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan has six championships. 6 NBA championships. Michael Jordan is a champion. These NBA players, there's taller NBA players than Michael Jordan. There's faster NBA players than Michael Jordan. Maybe even better NBA players than Michael Jordan. But Michael Jordan is a champion, not just because he was the best or the biggest or the fastest. Michael Jordan was a champion because he understood the game. He understood what needed to be done to become a champion. He made everybody around him better. If you go away from this session today and do nothing, and you don't tell anybody about this, you've not made anybody better. You've not made one person better by informing them of what they should be looking for whenever they walk into an environment or drive into an environment. That quarter-inch difference in somebody's life is you leaving this today and making a difference in somebody else's life and telling them to focus on the great things out here in our world, because there are great things in our world. Instead of focusing on our phone, focusing on our ear pods, focusing on ourselves, if we focus on each other and we start connecting with our communities, connecting with society again, we'll start seeing these tragic events. We'll start seeing that they are no longer prevalent. But it's going to take you and your willingness to be that quarter-inch difference. My name is Steve Webb, and thank you so much for having me.